Lessons for others embarking on a similar process, Matthew?
I think I would start with the speed of the process. The lead advisor that we used for sound and music said at one point, I think in semi-exasperation, that if we were working in the private sector, the first you would hear about a merger is when it had actually happened. But in the arts sector, we announce we're going to do a merger and then we talk about it for 3 years. I think this way of working proved to be quite problematic. We could only move at a certain speed, realistically, because of the need to get buy-in from so many different stakeholders. But I wish we had been able to speed it up, and I think that would have helped the process in all sorts of ways, and I think there were ways, looking back on it, in which we could have sped things up. So a lesson I would say is if you're going to do something, do it quickly, because the longer it goes on, the harder it becomes, particularly for the people. The second thing I would say is particularly for charitable organisations, is don't underestimate the governance implications of what you are looking to do. Winding up organisations is hard. As I've said before, there's a lot of stakeholder buy-in that needs to be got. People will want to use governance as a battleground to dictate how the organisation will function in future. They will in a sense use that to embed their legacy. So don't underestimate the amount of time that you will have to spend dealing with governance issues and trying to stop those impacting negatively upon the new organisation you're looking to create. The third thing would be around emotional resilience of the people. Mergers are very tough on people. They demand that they give up a lot, and quite often they will be asked to do a lot of work in addition to the work that they're already doing in their current organisation. Providing enough emotional support for people is very important to enable them to stay productive, even if their organisation might be closing. It's important that their organisation goes out with its head held high and with a good track record going into the new organisation. That's certainly something we tried to do well, and while there certainly was emotional fallout for individuals, I think it could have been a lot worse. A fourth area I would highlight would actually be reflective learning for people. One of the best things I think we did, particularly in the early time of talking about the merger, was to do a lot of consultations. I think we talked to over 100 organisations, and some of the learnings, particularly about merger and how it works, continue to resonate with me now and continue to be of importance. Fifthly, and I think this is a very important one, is around expectations. Don't expect that when you actually do the merger or the major change, that the change stops at the point that you've done the change. That is just the beginning. In many ways, things will intensify and become more difficult in many ways after the point where you've actually done the change. It could be 3 years or longer before you see the benefits of that. Sobering, but true. Don't load yourself with expectations that everything will be all right and the new world will begin immediately. It may be some time before you see the benefits of that, and you need to be prepared for that.